What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. A show of mixed reactions. Well, at least from me. Luckily, though, it ended on a positive. Like, that Roman-Cena match saved the show, in my personal opinion. Edge and Seth was better from bell to bell, with the main event and the aftermath really changed my opinion on the show as a whole. There were some questionable booking decisions, though, that I felt hurt the show a lot. You know, we can't look past that, but right now, let's get into it. I ain't gonna take long with the intro. The first match was on the pre-show. Big E faced Baron Corbin. So Corbin's broke, he's in debt, and felt that the briefcase was a way out. The match itself, it wasn't really that interesting. Long story short, Big E put a whooping on Corbin, who was desperately trying to keep the briefcase. He won it, and Corbin was left sad as expected. And it's not like the match was one-sided. Like, Corbin actually did get some offense in for a large portion of the match, but once Big E got his momentum back, that was it. Off to the main show. The first match was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, also known as RK Bro, faced AJ Styles and Omos. This one in particular flew by very quickly, which is very odd because WWE tends to have long-ass openers. But in my opinion, it was a nice change of pace. It actually lasted 7 minutes, so they weren't wasting any time. The result itself wasn't anything out of this world, you know, fans including myself, like RK Bro, and it was a perfect moment. It was the best match to open the show, and it got me hyped up, although that hype would fizzle out as the show went on. It eventually returned, though. My favorite spot, of course, had to be when AJ Styles went for that backflip off the apron and hit that reverse DDT. Along with that sudden RKO, like the moment Orton hit that RKO, the fans exploded. I loved it. As I said, good opener. Second match, though, was anything but good. Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. The match that I feel should have been on the pre-show. Says here that it lasted for 4 minutes, but oddly enough, it felt like 8 for me. There was some shenanigans involving the doll, with Eva assaulting it, using it as a weapon. Alexa Bliss was getting angry, and I was laughing at this stuff. Not because it's funny, but it's because it's dumb. Like, I'm not a fan of the story at all. Bliss ended up winning with the DDT, and afterwards, Doudrop provoked Eva with a little announcement saying she lost, and even wore her robe before leaving. As I said, the whole Alexa Fiend thing is not something I like. Feud itself, I do not think anybody's going to remember it positively, obviously speaking. This was not my favorite match on the card. It was my least favorite, matter of fact. Mario Lopez actually said WWF, which caught me off guard. You know, sounded so damn weird to hear. And in the arena, Damian Priest was set to face Sheamus for the United States Championship. Alright, this one's underrated. Like, I didn't hear much about it after the show. Took a while to pick up, but when it did, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Especially the moment where Sheamus kneed the hell out of Priest. That alone could have ended the match. Another spot I loved was when Priest removed Sheamus' protective mask, whooped his ass, and the tide turned in the challenger's favor from there. He ends up hitting Reckoning, and thus, there was a new champion. I'm really proud of Priest. You know, he's somebody I hoped they pushed initially. I was optimistic with the whole Bad Bunny thing. Then there was, of course, that zombie thing, but he's champ now. It's all good. I don't know if I said in a previous video, but I personally feel he should be, at the very least, a mid-carder. A solid mid-carder. I assume Sheamus is going to get a rematch. He'll probably lose, and we'll see where he goes from here on. Apparently, 2K22 is going to be released in March. It's a bit weird, but I feel they're scared of a 2K20 situation. I'm just confused as to why a game that's released in March is advertised for a pay-per-view in August. Well, whatever. If the game's anything like 2K19, I'll have a blast, but until then, 2K20 is going to continue being in the dust. Like, even though the game really glitches for me, it is boring. Alright, next match was for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Rey and Dominic Mysterio challenge the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Okay, this one delivered as expected. I liked their Money in the Bank match just a bit more than this one. But there were two problems. For one, I feel like I've seen this match a bunch of times recently. I don't know if that's just a feeling or if that's a fact, but it feels like I've seen this match one too many times. A couple of other people said this as well, on Twitter I saw. Also, I wasn't convinced that the champs were losing, but anyways, they targeted Dominic for a large amount of the match. Rey gets the tag, he has momentum of course, and the match kicks up from there. He ends up hitting the 619, but screws up the frog splash. Dominic's knocked down, Jay's tagged in, super kick galore, and then the splash. 1, 2, 3. Not bad, but it felt a bit predictable for me because, like I said, I just thought there was no way in hell that the Usos were going to lose this match. Oh yeah, I forgot, Priest wasn't only the US champion, but the national champion as well. Boogs and Nakamura randomly came out to dance. I was thinking a match was going to happen, but it was just a little cool down moment. McAfee, of course, found time to get up from his desk and get involved. And speaking of him, the man's always saying some random ass stuff. I remember last time around, he's like, oh, Rey was in 2K01. Like, what the hell is he talking about? But anyways, the next match, well, it was supposed to be Sasha Banks and Bianca Bel-Air for the Smackdown Women's Championship. And WWE even had the pre-match promo, which I don't understand. But anyways, Sasha couldn't compete. I think she is ill. I am not sure. And it seemed like Carmella was up for the challenge. Turns out, Becky Lynch is back, and she steals the spot. Bianca accepts the challenge for the title, and it's on. Alright. I was hyped, you know, Becky Lynch is back. I'm like, we're going to get a good-ass match probably. Low expectations, you know, because it was our first match back. But still, at the end of the day, we're going to have a long, memorable match probably. Then, Becky legit punches her, hits a Uranagi or a rock bottom, and wins the match with ease. Like, it was so perplexing. First of all, it's unknown why Sasha didn't appear. I assume she was ill or she's injured. But that's not the point. Bel-Air lost the title in 6 or 7 seconds. The title she won at WrestleMania. Like, what in the Kofi Kingston is going on here? It's like, oh, we need another shocking moment tonight. Without the thought of what occurs afterwards. Now, can the story play out? Yeah, but we heard that countless times recently. I would give them the benefit of the doubt and think, oh, this is just the beginning. But that's what I thought with the Kofi Kingston thing. That's what I thought with a couple of things as well. What I do wonder is, how did they come up with this? Like, they could have done a triple threat match and have Becky win it there, and it would have been much better than what we got. Or they could have waited it out. I don't know what to say. It was really shocking yet deflating to see Bianca lose like that. Like, sure, it was shocking, but that doesn't mean it was good. Alright, following that stunning turn of events, Drew McIntyre faced Jinder Mahal. Yeah, we didn't get Mahal of 2017 here. He was mauled and dominated by Drew. Obviously, he fought back into control in the match, but as expected, he took the L. Match was just there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't long, but it did its job in wrapping up the feud, I assume. At least that's what I think, because we might hear about it tomorrow on Raw. Okay, Nikki ASH defends the Raw Women's Championship against Rhea, Ripley, and Charlotte. The match wasn't bad. It wasn't decent. It was good. But one cloud was looming over. The fact that Charlotte won another title. Like, at this point, she'll have the 17th title before the year ends, probably. Obviously, Nikki's run wasn't great. I wasn't expecting it to be, but I was proud of the fact that she won the title. Is Charlotte skilled? Hell yeah, but this is too much in my opinion. Calm down with that damn title ring. She's just winning titles. It's just stat padding at its finest, and it gets really repetitive. Like, I legit remember a couple of you guys were angry at Charlotte winning the title last month despite that epic women's match. Like, that's probably my favorite women's match of the year. Well, like I said, good match, questionable booking. From the questionable to a match that was undisputedly good. Edge and Seth Rollins. Okay, I thought it was nice that Edge had the Brood entrance. Also odd to think that was a faction that lasted for 8 months, yet it's being mentioned to this very day. It shows just how good, how memorable the Brood was. They weren't main events, they weren't winning titles, but their looking entrance was superb. I don't know why my dumbass for a moment thought Gangrel was coming though. He didn't, obviously. But with regards to the match, like Money in the Bank, it took a while for it to kick in. But when it did, it was great. Edge's matches on pay-per-view, I seem to enjoy nearly every single one of them. I also love the story of Seth trying to stomp Edge's neck, and I wanted to destroy it. I wanted to finish the job from 2014. Like, despite the fact that I had low expectations due to what went on previously, it delivered and then some, you know. It over-delivered. There were some cool spots, you know, such as the spear through the ropes. The near falls, like after Rollins went for the Phoenix Splash, Edge caught him with that spear. I really thought that was it. A couple of fans did as well. And then there was that shocking ending where Seth Rollins tapped out to the crossface. I didn't really expect him to tap out. Add to that, I didn't expect him to lose. Like, I legit thought Seth Rollins was going to win the match. He wasn't going to break Edge's neck in storyline, obviously, but he was going to score the W because he's been losing a lot recently. One thing to mention is that I've seen a lot of people consider it to be Edge's best match since returning. That's how good it was, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. I am glad that he is wrestling again. His presence is greatly appreciated by myself because he's got that old school style. He excels in the promos to his matches. He's always looking like he was going to destroy somebody. And unlike other part-timers, he actually delivers. For certain, this was match of the night. There was this random ass segment with Miz and Morrison getting sprayed with a water gun by Xavier Woods. I don't know why they did it, but I just wanted to mention it. I didn't like it, obviously, but I guess it was a little cool down moment. I don't know. Next match was for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley defending the gold against Goldberg. For obvious reasons, Goldberg's matches have this huge dramatic feel to them. I remember the Royal Rumble match from earlier this year being absolutely insane. Like, I legit thought Goldberg could win it. This one, though, it felt very much different to Goldberg's other matches. It wasn't one of those already in fifth gear type, the finishers in the first second, near falls, all that. It actually lasted for several minutes, and I didn't like it. There were botches. He was lagging after MVP whacked him with a cane in the knee. You know, it took him a second to react, and just watching that replay, it never fails to make me laugh. This, of course, led to Lashley targeting that leg. Match felt awkward, and I was glad it ended. But the ending, though, was weird, you know. Caught me off guard. But Lashley's the winner, which is something I'm happy about, you know. Like, I didn't want to see Goldberg win the title because I'm not really interested in his matches. Afterwards, his son comes in, and Bobby decided, you know what, I'm going to legit beat this kid up. He did that, and received cheers from the crowd. But yeah, this was a mess. And by the way things look, I doubt it's the end. I'll probably end like this in Saudi Arabia. I was laughing my ass off over the stuff going on after the match. And the fact that the crowd was cheering Lashley assaulting the kid, you know, that was funny as hell. But yeah, at least Lashley's getting cheered. I hope it ends well for him, but I doubt it with the way the story's going. You know, Goldberg wants to avenge his son. He got beaten up. He's going to win the title in the end. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Even though people are like, oh, he wrestles only 2 matches a year. Well, they could extend it. They could pay him more. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think Goldberg is going to win the title. And the main event. John Cena challenges Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. The match everyone and their mom was waiting for. Compared to No Mercy, I thought it was better. For one, the 2017 encounter felt very forgettable, and it was essentially a finisher fest. Like, I watched it a year ago and couldn't get into it. This time, though, it felt much bigger. Roman had done a lot of work since their last encounter. He improved on the mic, increased his star power with the heel turn, and there was this little stipulation that if he lost, he would leave WWE. By the time the bell rang, I completely forgot about that. Roman's little statements to the camera got me, you know, I'm going to send this man back to Hollywood. He's like, oh, this guy ain't going to come back or whatever. They were awesome. Another thing that was cool was John Cena shirt. Like, I'm thinking, damn, I'm actually going to buy a new John Cena shirt when I discover that this damn shirt is a part of a $1,000 limited edition box. Yeah, no. I was disappointed with that, but anyways, Cena initially tried going for several ropes because he caught Roman with it in the build-up to the match. It was a stupid strategy because Roman had it scouted. But he continued and continued doing it, sort of like me on FIFA with the one-touch passes. It's just not going to work. Reigns was in control. Took a while for John to fight back. Once he did, he managed to hit the 8-8 and that kick out. It was one of the most shocking kickouts I've seen in a while. Like, obviously, Cena was going to lose, but in that split second, I was like, this is it? Title number 17? And WWE's kickouts don't really shock me like that. But that one certainly did. Like, that one is one of the most shocking kickouts I've seen on pay-per-view all year. There was that Super AA, you know, the Avalanche AA, which wasn't as huge as the other kickout, but it still had me doubting the result. Nonetheless, Roman stood tall in the end with one spear, showing John Cena has lost his powers, apparently. Because if this was 07 or even 2014 John Cena, he sure as hell would have kicked out. Enjoyable match, hot crowd. The stipulation thing didn't bother me, although I understand if others were bothered by them. It had that big fight feel, and if it wasn't for this match, I wouldn't even like the pay-per-view as much as I did. Along with Seth and Edge, it really saved SummerSlam in my opinion. Afterwards, though, John Cena was tossed out in favor of Farmer Brock Lesnar. Caught me off guard in a way. You know, I did think there was a chance of a return, but I just didn't think it was going to be against Roman. I was convinced Brock was back after Goldberg was getting attacked. It made too much sense to me. And also, poor Lashley's never going to get his match. Paul Heyman was pissing himself, and I wonder how they go about it. Okay, what did you guys think of Lesnar's return? Like I said, I didn't think they'd do it so soon, but what I like about this is the fact that babyface Brock is back. That's one thing I'm hyped about. It's nice to see that for a change. I've been wanting to see babyface Brock since 2015, ever since he had that little Seth Rollins feud, but they just never did it. Overall, SummerSlam was pretty mixed in my opinion. I was optimistic heading to the show. The excitement fizzled a bit throughout the show, but by the end I was hyped again. The problem though was the odd booking. Like, some stuff was just flat out confusing. Like, why did Charlotte win another title after losing to the same person? Why did Becky win the way she did? I don't know, but on the positives, I enjoyed the opener. It didn't overstay its welcome. Edge vs. Seth Rollins was probably match of the night. Those two did nothing wrong to stole the show. Main event was epic. It had that big fight feeling to it. Lesnar came out jacked as hell. I don't know about you guys, but I love the WrestleMania 31 match and hope they replicate that quality. I don't know if they will. You know, WrestleMania 34 comes to mind. But we'll see. Okay, what did you guys think of SummerSlam 2021? Please comment down below. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the execution on the like button or perhaps the spear and the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.